Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Throwback Edition. This is Trent Long, my co-host, J-Bone. J-Bone, say hello to the people.
What is shaking, buddy?
I am I'm more tame. Remember, throwback. I don't do the crazy. I'm not as insane. This is the. We're respecting the history. History is have to calm down history a little bit.
We're letting Don West and Mike TNA blow up the room, right?
TNA and West do enough for both of us. So I'm
my God.
Jay, we are here. We're here to talk episode number 10 of NWA-TNA. We made it to 10, and we made I made a promise. I did this without your permission, Jay. People who wanted to come on and guest with us, I told them let us get to 10, and we'll start bringing new people on. So we might have an influx of guys who want to be on as guests to do some of these episodes. So I feel like I tell you live.
Oh, I am totally down for that. The more the merrier. Because this is a unique thing that we're reviewing. We're going way back almost 20 years for a product that is very close to what's happening now. But was very controversial at the time, and it took a while to get the ball rolling on something like this. I feel like, I don't know how many were watching back then, but yeah, man, it's such a hot. I mean, you could feel the crowd, especially for this one. Oh my God, was the crowd just,
no doubt,
man, there were some women just losing their ever-loving minds. Probably had to change halfway through the show. It was jeez Louise.
One of the big things, is the crowd. You notice the crowd. We'll talk about it too in a second. But I want to start the podcast off here with a bit of sad news, and I want to send our condolences on behalf of J Bone and Kyle as well, for the whole TNI family, all the guys in the chat, and all of our regular listeners. To Mir Neeson, who was one of our biggest supporters, Jay. As you know, he's one of our most loyal supporters from day one since we started here. And his father,
he's part of the family.
He's part of the family, no doubt. His father recently passed away, and we feel terrible. I mean, I know you too, Jay. We're both guys. We're close to our fathers, and that news absolutely gutted me. And you know what a family this is, guys. That we Mir reached out to tell me, and on Twitter, let me know that's happening. And it's like we formed a bond with a lot of people, who listen to us every week, and it's like we come and hang out with our friends, and I feel horrible for him. I really do. I'm super close to my dad, and hearing that news just is gutting, man. So thoughts and prayers to Mir Neeson, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. That when I saw that online, that he messaged you, and it hit me too, man. I know what it's like, because I moved back home when my mom passed away to help out Pops. I know what that feels like. That's so, man, condolences,
big time.
Just praying for strength and peace in this time, get you through this. This ain't easy, but we're here for you. Thanks for reaching out. We feel for you. We love you.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here for you, Mir. I want to also let you guys know, if you want to reach out to Mir, I think it's Neeson Mir, Nissim, I believe, Meir, Neeson Mir on Twitter. Reach out to him, give him a shout. I think, Mir, you are in the chat today. Mir's in the chat. So Mir, we wanted to send you our condolences, man. We love you. We really are hurting for you. I mean, and if you need anything, you reach out to us. So hope we can cheer you up a little bit today, make you feel a little better about a few things as we talk about some Impact and TNA stuff.
That's why we watch wrestling in general, right? Just takes us out of real life just for that couple hour, whatever it is,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're in here with us. You're around all our friends, and good to have you in here today. But cool, man. We are here for episode 10 of NWA-TNA. Jay, got any news? That hasn't really been breaking news since we did the weekly show on Thursday.
I don't think so.
Nothing major. I don't
the only thing is we got the completed card for Sacrifice coming up this weekend, but no throwback show news. Not that I know of. It's been we got a few hot ones in that first week, and now it's trickled back a little bit. I'm sure they're always working on stuff, and maybe they've got everything. Maybe they got all their ducks in a row, and they're just making us, bite all our nails off,
Well, one thing I want to say, one thing I got to say, Jay, what they've been doing with the Throwback show. If you probably caught that, guys in chat, you probably caught this too. They have been amazing about marketing the people who have been named so far. You caught this on their social media. They've been putting out tons of Petey Williams content, Scott Steiner content, Chris Harris. They're reminding you, Amazing Red. They're reminding you.
Oh yeah, Amazing Red. I saw that one.
Yeah, moments, right?
Yeah.
They're letting you know there's a lot of history with these guys. Don't forget what these guys have contributed. So they're really doing a great job of promoting that. One bit of news I do have though, Jay. One bit I gotta mention. It was reported that TNA Impact, I should say, reached out to Vince Russo to appear on the show.
Really?
And Dixie Carter. They said, well, and this is Meltzer BS, right? I know they reached out. Well, I subscribe to Russo's podcast, and I listened to him, and he says no one ever reached out to me because Disco Inferno is on. Disco's going to be on the show.
Okay.
Disco and him jaw back and forth, and he's like, well, if you're going to be on, I'm not going to be on. And he's like, they never reached out to me. He's like, this is wrong reporting. No one ever called me. So whoever's reporting that they call, so it's like only take the word of what Impact puts out of who's been actually added to the show. The rumors out there, BS.
And he might be doing exactly what, just for example, Morrison did when it was reported that he was joining. But like, okay, this is before the company went and said something. Somebody reported that Morrison went back to the WWE, and he's like, really? It's news to me.
Yeah.
Russo might be doing the same thing, depending on what they've got for him, because Russo is that controversial
of a name.
Of a name that if you put it out there, it could weigh a little. They might be waiting for something to happen during the show, and all of a sudden Russo shows up and does something, it's that level of like, Jim Cornette, someone controversial.
True. I still think the best thing to redeem Vince Russo in a lot of these people's eyes is matches going on or matches about to start. Russo's music hits. He walks out. He goes, needs a pole.
Yeah.
And walks out. Like, they would get a pop. There was a piece of news. One more piece of news, Jay.
Okay.
I want to thank Hakeem for reminding me. The A1 and Impact Wrestling partnership that was formed 2 days ago.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's Ethan Page's company that he's got up north in Canada. That's
in Toronto.
And he brings in Impact guys once in a while to draw in. Congrats to Page and the company that he runs. That's awesome.
They're going to be A1's going to be on Impact Plus, and they're doing co-op shows. I mean, this is huge. Yeah, this is huge for both.
They've got
almost like a developmental for them.
They've got a few matches, like a handful of matches already on there, and the first show that's going to be featured is sometime in, I don't have the date. It's March something, so it's coming up soon.
I think it was 28th is lockdown. I'm guessing the 29th. I think it's like they're in the area there. I think it's 29th.
I think it's the week before. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, we'll double check.
It's something in the middle towards the end of March.
Okay.
But yeah, congrats. And that reminds me of one other thing I saw news-wise. Their YouTube, talking about, because they're promoting the throwback stuff, and they put out video packages on their YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel just hit 2 billion views. So congrats to them on that.
Huge.
That's big. That's
2
big.
Billion with a B. That's a lot of views, man.
Yeah.
A lot of views. That is all Garrett Kidney, man. I mean, not all, but like obviously recent stuff. He's not responsive on Twitter to us at all. I try talking to Garrett Kidney sometimes, the head of their social media, but he never really responds to him. But I admire the guy. His social media-ing is incredible, and what he's done for Impact's numbers is fantastic. So
and whatever he's doing with who's ever putting these things together, you know, and that's a team effort there. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So huge, man, huge for Impact. So there was some news. We initially thought there wasn't, but there's always something.
Well, I mean, it's big picture wise, not focal on focused on Impact, the throwback show itself, but it's all stuff that's going to help it. You know,
it's the issue of doing two shows, guys, where we end up basically having to repeat this news on the weekly show, which we're going to have to do in a couple of days. We're going to repeat the same news just so we can get that audience to hear it too.
Oh,
so
and that's okay. Yeah,
which I don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't think the fans mind it either. They appreciate the brand. Whatever's positive for the growth of it, it's all good. It's all great.
Absolutely. Very cool. All right, guys, let's talk episode number 10 of NWA-TNA. We made the 10 episodes, Jay. That's a lot. That's pretty good. We're on a good pace here. 10 out of God, we should get the final counts. We should start checking them off on the list. But
there's a few years to go. I mean, if we're doing this weekly, but hey, it's a good start. You know, there's a nice little following. The channel is growing consistently. It's almost 280. So nice. Each show grows a little more along that with the impacted guys earlier today. And I apologize. You know, I'm producing the show called Impacted for Bison and Joker. And their new one just hit earlier today as opposed to Sunday when I usually get it out, but the new one is on there. Please go check it out.
Very nice. Check that out. Eddie
Edwards
on this channel, guys. Check that out. Impact, the new series. Yep, check that out. They've done 4 in. I'm proud of those guys. They're doing a hell of a job.
Consistent.
Very cool.
Yes,
very cool. All right, let's jump in here, Jay. This was a very action-packed episode. Very, very intense. Started off with the best of 3 had been announced for Jerry Lynn and AJ Styles to have at this show. They said if they needed to get to 3, it'd be now remind me here, Jay, this was a false count anywhere, no DQ, and if needed, an Iron Man match. Right?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. So
that's a handful right there. You know, just put the rest of the show over here. Just that itself is like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's nuts. Mike TNA opens the show by reminding us it's now the TNA Asylum, which we got last week. He let us know it's the TNA Asylum. We're officially underway. This is it. And they sure acted like an asylum. This was a great crowd. Jay, that crowd was amazingly hot. I'm talking like bonkers hot.
I think there's a few women who became impregnated from just the level of excitement there. Just, you know, it's like some kind of I don't know.
There were women in the crowd, women and kids. You don't see much of that nowadays in a lot of wrestling crowds. Women and kids in the crowd. Intense indie wrestler, not indie, but I guess it was considered somewhat indie at the time in terms of like the size and everything. But man, intense crowd, kids chanting, women in the crowd. It was awesome. I loved it. That crowd was getting me, man. I loved every minute of that crowd.
I know I'm jumping ahead here, and I don't know if this was a fan or someone planted. But there's a part in the show where Brian Lawler's out there causing havoc with Jarrett, which just happens a lot.
Yeah,
he goes to grab a chair from a fan,
and she won't give it to him.
She won't give it to him. At first, I thought it was R-Truth because it was a black person with braided hair, and I'm like, oh, it's R-Truth is in the crowd getting in. Oh no, that's
she had the braids. Yeah.
That's a fan. I was like, oh my God. And she's getting loud with him.
Oh
my God. It was
Mike TNA Mike TNA even said that she resisted last time. They tried getting her chair too or something. He said something about it. So
yeah, it did happen like a show or 2 ago. So this was the same person. So they might have had him do it again, you know, if this is a regular at the show. But even then, it's like the crowd is
nuts.
Yeah, it's involved.
Could you imagine going $10 tickets, $15 ringside? It was affordable, hot crowd. I mean, top name talent, man. A weekly show. Fantastic. Yeah. We opened up the show. I questioned this. Why? And I remember questioning this in 2002. Why the hell is Jerry Lynn coming out to country music? Jerry Lynn is a total metalhead. And
Oh,
AJ's coming out to the rock music, and Jerry's coming out to the country music. Did somebody swap the tapes, J-Bone? Somebody swapped the tapes.
It's funny. I'm guessing it's because they're focusing on the crowd as what they're going to get, like what they can maybe identify with.
I guess so.
Some crowds are a little more heavy metal. Some crowds, depending on the product, might be a little more hip hop. And this is a Southern thing. So
he's the face also. It helps.
Yeah. And this all evolves over the years too, because we see songs change from this person to this person or get a little more heavy.
And they do.
AJ's music now is a version of what he was using currently for a long time. That changed after his a more of evolving of his heel turn.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So
you'll see AJ's evolve too. But no, what an amazing match. They went all over the place. I mean, the balls to the wall everywhere. I love that this feud feels like a feud. Like, I truly feel like these two hate each other. And this is, Jerry Lynn gets a lot of credit with the RVD feud he had in ECW, but his feud with AJ Styles throughout this show proves this is one of the best feuds of his career, Jay. I think this is incredible what these two have done together.
Oh yeah, I mean it started out like we've been a little critical of it with the whole they're tag champs and all of a sudden they're at each other's throats, which is kind of weird. But the feud itself has been intoxicating. It's been awesome. Yeah,
very good word for that. It truly has.
I want to address this just real quick. Hakeem Fullerton says, will you guys be doing any throwback reviews on the old TNA pay-per-views?
Yes.
I'm assuming he means like the pay-per-views that came later. I think one thing that would be fun to do, seeing as they're just brought back Sacrifice and they just brought out the whole complete list of sacrifices on the Impact Plus site, app, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we could review like a sacrifice close to the current sacrifice. What do you think?
We could do that. I'm down to do a sacrifice. I'm down to do that.
Like the first sacrifice or something like that.
We could do that. The plan I originally was thinking was we essentially go in order. We finish the weeklies and then we start with the pay-per-views. The actual which was first one was I believe Turning Point 04, right? It was the first pay-per-view. We start with that. Are we going that direction? So it could be. Let's see how that goes because we're already got the 2 a week. I think if we can fit in a sacrifice throwback, I'd like to. Then it becomes, which one do we do? We got to think about that too.
Right, so. And honestly, it's a horse apiece because you'd have to really go back and look at who's on what card and what's going to be more exciting, who likes what. It don't matter to me,
Definitely, the plan is to go in order as we finish the Wednesdays, get to the old pay-per-views too. But if we can have time, I wouldn't mind starting another tier of those pay-per-views as long as we have time. It's a matter of time to watch them. So definitely keep you guys posted.
It's a lot. Millard Harris has an opinion here. He says sacrifice Kyle.
He's been on 2 weeks in a row on the weekly show on the Impact Lounge. He's been on twice.
Yeah, I don't want to ask him. I love the guy.
Not yet. We can't do it yet. He's been showing up again.
He may rub some people the wrong way at times, but I love the guy.
Yeah. We're in the back. Goldilocks is in there with AMW, and Harris is smoking a cigarette. I was trying to figure out what they were going for with this. Harris is smoking a cigarette, and Storm is rednecking. I put down Storm is and just redneck, and he stopped Storm from rednecking, and he refers to Storm. It's you're doing this John Wayne crap. Storm's acting like a total dork. I'm I forgot that they made Storm such a dork. And then Brian Lee and Ron Harris walk up, make fun of Storm a little bit more. Tell Harris, you better get a new partner if you want to stand a chance against us. And then Storm refers to them as some rude buckaroos. What the fuck is this?
Chris Harris is oh, you're killing me.
The funny thing is how cool James Storm is. Now, especially. The dude is cool as hell.
He's not that far off from what he was back then. It's just different. He's still hardcore country, but
he's cool now. Then he was a dork.
And it's a level of respect that he's earned from the audience. He's still so babyface fresh at this time, squeaky clean, and
oh yeah,
and he's so fired up, ready to go, and Chris Harris is the same way. He's just a little more. I'm wearing the shades. I got the cool jacket.
I mean, he looked cool though.
I got
Chris
the
Harris.
gear, man, and he was so hyped for this future of this tag team. Still before they called him what they called him, I can't wait for the inception of, okay, we're going to brand you now, you know?
And the music, Jay, the music was awesome. They had amazing music, I got to say. Once you get to that.
Go back and I don't remember. A lot of it's fuzzy. I don't remember what they had. I know the second I hear it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, but yeah. It's
called Guilty. It's such a good song, man. Good song. Very cool stuff. But the match is next. Ron Harris and Brian Lee. Primetime Brian Lee. This is basically, these two are the DOA, basically half of the DOA from the WWF prior to this. And so these guys are Disciples of Apocalypse. Brian Lee, if you guys know, is a fake Undertaker. So you know, he's primetime Brian Lee. He was also in ECW. The guy is a veteran. Looked like $1 million too. I think he looked great. He was real cut, looked real good, like a star.
Oh yeah.
Good match. I mean, I think Lee had star appeal going into this. Real full energy though. Full energy match here, Jay. Did you catch this though? A fan attacks Brian Lee. Well, I wouldn't say he attacked. He's like really overzealous, like cheering on Brian Lee, and then Brian Lee attacks the fan, pulls him over, just beating the shit out of him. In the meantime, Ron Harris is distracted. AMW takes the pin, gets the win. What the hell was up with that? Did you see that fan?
Yeah, and I'm reacquainting myself here with Brian Lee. I wasn't familiar with what he was doing before this, so this is all very new. He is a big guy, an intimidating guy. I felt like he matched well with Ron Harris, who is the twin brother of Don Harris. The security guy. This is not the same guy. And they made a point to say that because I'm like, oh, it's the security guy, except he's got ring gear on. It's like, no, this is his twin.
This is the twin, right.
Right. But yeah, that was crazy. It's like things started going south in the match, and there was some crazy fan at ringside, and Lee just picks him up over the railing and starts choking him on the ground. And
I was like,
Harris
what the hell?
And Ron is like, what the? There's so many Harrises here. It's funny.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
And Ron's like, what the hell are you doing? Get over here so we can have this match. And they lose the match because of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty rough, but interesting. I wonder what they were going with that fan. I guess I don't remember. So I got to see where they're going with that whole fan thing. But maybe the lead in.
I thought for a second when I was looking at him, he almost looked like it was one half of the Hot Shots, but it wasn't.
No, he was a lot bigger.
It wasn't Cassidy Riley. This guy was just I mean, it was the plan. Obviously, they're not going to do that to fans, but yeah.
Well, yeah, the giveaway usually ends up being where security doesn't jump in. Like you guys should have made it at least made it look a little real that security was, trying to break it up.
Somebody save this guy. Who's this guy? Yeah.
Something like that, would have been nice. But
right.
We go from that to the Flying Elvises now. And see, now you have another tag team imploding on this show. Also doing a 2 out of 3 falls type of thing. Siaki taking on Jimmy Yang. Now, it's kind of weird. You're breaking up all the tag teams. 10 weeks in, your tag teams are falling apart. So it's wacky.
Yeah, and they're always got an influx of new talent to show off on the show. So if they're, rotating new stuff all the time and you get a couple screws loose in your tag team division, it's like, you're still featuring talents. It's a good rivalry.
It was like, you're a week-to-week company. You have to find your breakouts. And early on, you see these stars. Like, you're like, man, Siaki is a star. We don't want to tie him up in a tag team. Let's break him out of the team. Jerry Lynn and AJ on their own are star. We can't just tie him up as a tag team. We got to break him out of the tag team, which I get. Like as a producer, I have that mentality too. It's like, I need the breakout guy. I can't tie them up and lose them in a tag team. So I can see where they're going with that. But man, this was a 2 out of 3 falls. Yang wins the first one with the Yang time. Siaki wins fall number 2, and then also fall number. It was pretty straight standard. It wasn't that long of a match, Jay. But what stuck out to me was it was a brutal match, and they were really laying them in. It was like pretty hefty kind of match. I think Siaki was like beating the shit out of Yang. Pretty heavy. Like he was telling the story, though, is what I liked about it. What do you think?
Oh, it was. And it was crazy to watch this tag team implode. And you got Estrada at ringside. And, you know, you also got to wonder, you never know if Estrada is going to be there for Yang. Is he going to support Siaki, even though, you know, Siaki's been kind of, you know, heelish and solo on his own? You know, there's all these what if factors. But yeah, they
playing the middle a little bit, though, wasn't he? Am I wrong on that? Like, it looked like he was playing the middle somewhat.
A little. He was just kind of reacting to stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But man, both guys shined in this match. I mean, Siaki really shined as a bit like, oh yeah, this is the implosion. I can't wait to see this guy just on his own, stripped away of all this goofiness, you know. But I felt the same way about Yang. It's like, you know, solid tag team, but yeah, we got to lose the gimmick. It
was fun. It was fun for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you got too many stars and they're tied up. You can't do it. But I liked it though. I mean, and as you guys are going to see, the rise of Sonny Siaki that happens throughout all this is what makes it very special. Sonny Siaki is a very, very special talent, Jay. And again, I kills me every time that I'm like, that it got cut short with him. I can only imagine what this guy could have done with a major push.
Oh, he would have just been, I feel like he would have been same, if not more or less in some ways than AJ, you know, that kind of athlete. He'd have been that kind of star.
Because think about the time, right? You're talking the time period. A guy like him with that look who can talk. Awesome, man. Very unique.
He had charisma and talent through the roof.
Big time. Big time.
Oh, yeah.
Right immediately at the end of the match, Jarrett interrupts, grabs a microphone, says he's not following the rules.
What's new, right?
Yeah, exactly. The psychopath of Jeff Jarrett is interfering. Out of nowhere, Brian Lawler jumps out of nowhere and starts beating the shit out of him. Like, I'm talking beating the piss out of Jeff Jarrett. It's almost like what we all wanted to see happen with all this BS Jarrett's pushed in the last couple of years. It's like we all want to see him get taken out. I love Brian Lawler's intensity, Jay. I know you're a sucker for a good character, J Bone. This guy was really playing. I mean, I have legitimate thinking, okay, now what the fuck is it? What are you pissed off at him about? Because Goldie gets in the ring and she wants answers. She's like, tell me, Brian, tell us what it is. And tell us what it is. What is it about? What did Jarrett do to you? He's like, you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you? And he's about to tell us, and then Slash jumps him. Slash from the new church jumps him, and they start a match. Now, before we get into that match, give me your thoughts on this whole Brian Lawler thing. I want to hear what you think about this.
Oh, dude, he's just red in the face, sweating psycho. I mean, he's so mad. And yeah, we all want to know what the hell he's doing. Why are you so mad? You're so angry. You need Jesus. You know. I also felt bad for Goldie because is this another case of she's in there. We got a story. This is hot. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Throws the mic in his face. And first of all, you need to get the hell out of here. And she's like, oh, what the hell? All right.
She tried.
My exit. She's trying so hard to get the scoop. And he's like, I'll give you the scoop, but give me the mic and you get the hell out of here. However he put it. Like, and she got that the whole show again.
she almost got her scoop. Almost. Not quite. Right? But that was interesting. I gotta say, it's hooked me to want to know. I'm like, what the hell is it? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know what it is. And I can't figure out the life of me. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But eventually we'll get our story.
Oh, yeah.
Slash and Lawler kind of feels like a odd match. I didn't see why this. I mean, Don West lets you know that this match was scheduled. But I'm like, but why? What was the purpose of this match?
It was kind of out of nowhere, and it literally was out of nowhere because they said that he came from underneath the ring and shocked everyone. And because he appeared out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the ref showed up, and boom, he got a match. And I think the bigger picture is just to remind you that the sinister minister is always lurking and his crew is evolving, and you never know who's going to show up with who. And he was solo here. No one
no
to
minister.
Support him at ringside. So that was interesting.
Odd. Yeah, which was a little odd.
No blood.
No, my beef is the new church is too many losses. Too many losses for the new church. I never realized how much they had them lose in the early days. Yeah. The credibility was very up and down with them. But they stayed, there's still more to come with them, but it's like, man, they really did put over a lot of guys in those days. And it kind of sucks because they were selling them as this monstrous team. You're like, man, I want to see more out of them. But we'll see. We'll see where we go with that. Next segment, we got Jarrett in the back arguing with Bullet Bob Armstrong. The old boy, goddamn Jarrett, you son of a bitch. And like they're arguing. Bullet Bob, as you know, the legendary wrestler and the father of the Road Dogg Jesse James, and Scott Armstrong, the referee on all of these shows. So
yes,
there's that. He's a legend, Bob Armstrong, in the Georgia Championship Wrestling territory. He was the man. So we go back to the ring. Yeah,
legend in the South.
Absolutely huge in the South. You ask anybody in Georgia about Bullet, and they love Bullet Bob Armstrong. We go next, Jay. The next match is the SATs. Red, Joel, and Jose Maximo taking on Low Key for the X Division title. It's a single elimination tag. Another multi-man here, Jay. A lot of guys in this show. Too many people. Give me your thoughts on this one. What's going on?
Yeah, because you've got all the craziness going on with Styles and Jerry Lynn. You don't know where that's going to get interjected in this. You got the chaos from Brian Lawler showing up, God knows when, with Jarrett sneaking his nose in every damn thing. Now, it's almost I think they said something to the effect of, man, what has management got in for Low Key? Like, did he piss them off that he's got all this competition coming at him?
It was weird. I was like,
it's great. I mean, he's good. And we always applaud him because he was just so insanely hot back then. Win or lose, he was so good. But man, he has got the deck stacked against him a couple weeks in a row now, multi-man matches.
I'm trying to figure out what the psychology was for. I mean, did we set it up for that? You know what I mean? Like we didn't really set him up for it. And all of a sudden these guys getting a tag team or X Division title match. Like, whoa, we're really speeding. I know what the idea is, like, showcase match. It's a great match, but this was kind of like there's a lot of matches on this show that don't have much of a story for the match themselves, except for the big ones, obviously. But they have a lot of story coming out of them and what happens post match. So we're working with a lot of like bridging matches, bridging storylines here.
I think it's just also just to feature how hot the X Division talent is. And you're trying to get as much crammed into a 2-hour period as you can. And they certainly did that. Total nonstop. They're living up to their logo.
Well, to the name for sure.
The brand,
Absolutely. They did. They put a lot out there. The thing was, I love that they always utilize all the guys. There's so many guys there. What do we got here? Fun fact, Bob Armstrong took on Conan in an arm wrestling match contest and at Lockdown 2006. I seem to remember this. I'm trying to remember this. This is during the Conan heel days. Early LAX, I want to say. So interesting. Thank you, Hakeem, for sharing that fact.
That's
interesting. The elimination went like this. Low Key does retain. The elimination was Joel pinned Jose, and then Red pins Joel, and then Low Key hits a top rope key crusher on Red and gets the win.
Oh,
intense match.
Move. Yes.
Intense match. Low Key looks like he just really is trying to hurt people. That's what it is. I don't think he got the memo on this in this industry.
It shows week after week how good he is under pressure, and then not to fast forward too much in the episode, but then shows him standing tall, with all the chaos going on with Styles and Lynn. It's like, oh man, they are really, there are some significant names in here that deserve to be on top of this division, and Low Key is just freaking bring it,
And remember, Low Key, this is 18 years ago. Low Key is about 22, 23 years old here. I mean, this is young, fresh, energetic, no injury, low key. Like, he's ready to kill at this point.
Not even a handful of years in, and he's just hungry.
He's hungry, man. He is intense in these first few years. I mean, like, again, he's 23 years old. Piss and vinegar. I mean, he's ready to fucking kill people. You know what I mean? Even now, think about this now. Low key at 40 or 41, whatever he is like intense enough. Imagine him at 23 when he was just ready, looking to make a point. That's intense, man. That is intense. We go in the back. Goldilocks is with Truth, and he's talking about Monty Brown, how they're not alike, and what he sees about Monty Brown, and just a little hype for their match coming up. They come back and they see April Hunter sitting in there, famous for I think she had a stint in WCW. I'm trying to remember where April Hunter also was seen, but buxom lady wrestler said to be coming in for Bruce's Miss TNA title. April Hunter coming over.
I can't wait to see that because I know she's a big name from 20-ish years ago.
Yeah,
and I see her name now floated around here and there from time to time. I see her on social media.
I think she's still doing something. I don't know what she is.
But I'm very unfamiliar with what she did while she was, in the height of things going on back then. So I'm very curious to see what she does here. I can't wait to see that.
Am I crazy, or did you also think it was Shelton Benjamin sitting next to her? With the dude with the black dude with the blonde top? I was like, is that Shelton Benjamin?
Oh,
who was with her?
I figured it was someone of significance. I just didn't know who the heck it was. But I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna accompany her. I didn't know. Is that a manager? Is that an agent? Or
he was definitely
a
with
very
her.
Lucky fan. I don't know.
He was definitely with her. I don't know what the hell was going on, but it was something going on with that. But we'll see. April Hunter coming for the Miss TNA title. Now, this match I want to talk about, Jay. Truth and Monty Brown. Not a long time to build it. Built it a little bit, but I felt this is a very awkward match. They did not have that much chemistry. I wanted it to be more. Did you have any notes on this? Because maybe I'm off. Maybe you liked it. I felt it was kind of a rocky road on this match, and even the finish was very flat, very rocky and flat, not crisp.
I did feel how do I say this? It started out hot. You could feel the intensity. They were nose to nose, sure, as in the thumbnail of this video. They're lipping off at each other, and they lock up, and they go hot for about 5 minutes, and then it really slows down. And
they can't find their footing on this.
Yeah, it shows. I mean, at this time in Ron Killing's career, he's a tremendous athlete. He's got some good moves, but it also shows that Monty Brown at the time is a little green.
He is green.
He's charismatic. I'm not going to take that away from him at this point.
Absolutely cannot.
Ton of charisma. He just gets up there and that look, and he's just pumped. And he's an intimidating individual.
Yes, no doubt.
But you got to bring it in the ring. It's not I think this is, I can't remember if he used the pounce in this match or not and introduced it, but this is pre-pounce. Like a couple years down the road, boom, you can tell he's championship caliber and he deserves it and never got it. So I think it just kind of shows, okay, you're a good looking figure. You can bring something, but this match kind of showed. It was kind of like when they put Goldberg up against William Regal, and it showed the realness of his green.
That's a great comparison because I was thinking that too. I'm like, the potential is there, but this was way too soon to put him in a featured match for the title. Like you put title online. It's like, no, I know you're trying to turn a star quick. I get it. You're a weekly company. You don't know if next week's going to happen, but, and I remember in those days, guys, this was a big thing going on in those days. J-Bone was we didn't know if TNA was going to be next week was going to be the last one because it was new. It was funded by the Jarretts. It was an independent thing. They did not have a lot going on. It was very scary week to week.
Yeah.
So you had to turn a star quick in order to get that buzz, get that revenue. But this was for the sake of, like, you saw the cracks. Like you said, you saw the cracks in the foundation that Monty just wasn't ready for that moment. Plus, I wanted them to have more hype, him and Truth, maybe work out some stuff prior to the match. It just seemed like they couldn't find their footing. They had the intensity of talking and like you said, the face off is like, whoa, okay, cool. But then the bell rings and it's like they're not gelling. And I would love to have seen this match in a month rather than when it happened. If it happened a month later, would have been awesome.
I would throw a year on top of that. Just to see Monty Brown grow more as a wrestler. And then you put Ron Killings versus someone who's had a little more experience under their belt, and I think you would have had a significantly better thing. It just looked like they were blowing up too quick, started out too intense, and their stamina, that's the word I'm thinking of. Their stamina is not there yet.
Good point. I should have said about it. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted. I'm thinking just in the short term. I'm thinking just for the short term aspect, give me another month. But if I had an ideal situation, I'm with you. A year out. I wanted Monty to be built, like really build him. A year would have been, perfect.
Yeah, like too much too fast. But
just because we know he has it.
But
like,
they're also doing stuff on the fly here where it's we gotta throw hot stuff at him, and we gotta Killings, you got the championship now. Now you gotta put your money where your mouth is, and you gotta defend it. So, and that's hot too. I can understand why they did it.
True. No, absolutely. It was it ideally would have been longer, but hey, there's still more for Monty to come. But I wanted this out a little bit longer, but we'll see. Let's see what happens in episode 11 with Monty. Jarrett comes out, attacks the referee, and I mean, sorry, I meant Truth wins. Obviously, Jarrett attacks the referee. It's a whole schmoz. Truth and Monty are kind of standing there like, what the hell did they do? Like, they don't really know what to do. I don't think they knew this was happening. You could totally tell this was kind of like off script. Like, they didn't know that Jarrett was going to run, and they were kind of improvising like, what do we do? We're just standing here. And they kind of like slink out a little later on. You notice that? Like, did you catch that as well? Because you could tell they were caught off guard with Jarrett running in on this one.
Well, yeah, and Jarrett, wants to let the Truth know, remind him that he's there for the championship. And then, of course, wherever Jarrett goes, Brian Lawler's right there just
true.
Oh, just stalking him. Just stalking him. It's
pretty intense, man. I got to say it. It is very intense to watch Brian Lawler constantly not let up on Jeff Jarrett. I'm like, I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah,
I kind of enjoy it. He attacks the ref. Lawler attacks Jarrett, and then Jarrett pulls the ref in front of Brian Lawler's chair shot that he's going at him with, and he takes out the ref. So this is just chaos, complete chaos. So,
where's Steamboat?
Where the hell is Steamboat? Ricky Steamboat. Where the hell is Ricky Steamboat when you need Ricky Steamboat? What is happening? But complete chaos. Bob Armstrong cannot get a hold. Cannot get a handle on this company. He's disaster.
No.
Cannot hold it down. We're main event time now. This little main event here, poor choice of words. This goddamn main event is one of the most intense half hours I've seen in professional wrestling. It was completely total nonstop action, and I think that it did not let up for 30 minutes straight of action.
Oh, I was exhausted just watching this. But before we talk about what happened,
yes,
if I would have booked this, because there is so much here,
a lot.
They started out good. They started out at the top of the show, introducing the 2 out of 3 falls match with the first one, falls count anywhere. Okay, that's fine. But then I would have put the second one somewhere in the middle. I would have stuck it before or after the Brian Lawler slash match. You know,
I'm with you because it made no sense why the first one was where it was, and then these two are at the end. It's like it should have been the opening, top of the hour, main event. So you have kind of like the wave going on where
just
it's like
to break it up and build the
I agree.
anticipation, because you've got such an insane no DQ, which it starts in the back between Styles and Lynn. The bell rings before they even hit the ring because they're like, screw it, they're gone, just start it. It's no DQ, why not?
Right.
And it's just on fire up here nonstop. And then all of a sudden you've got your now we're going to the Iron Man match. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was almost too much, but I loved it.
I loved it too. And there's a very brilliant thing that happens in this match I'm going to get to in a second here. AJ wins the first fall of the AJ wins the first. What happened with the no DQ? I'm trying to get my notes together. Jay, what do you have for the no DQ there? I'm trying to sort some of my notes out here. I think I have it down. Sorry, hang on a second, guys. I have the no DQ kicked it all off. That was the first thing.
No, it was the false count. The false count started the top of the show.
Well, that was the beginning of the show. I'm talking the AJ beat Jerry in the no DQ aspect of it in about 11 minutes. Yeah, so there's two back to back. Yeah, this is where I'm mixing it up too. We have the two back to back. So AJ beats Jerry in the best of three, the no DQ portion. So now you have to have
1-1. Right.
Now they're 1-1. Sorry, so that's what was a little mix up here. Now it's 1-1. So now you have to go to the Iron Man match. So 11 minutes of this no DQ match, balls to the wall, all over the fucking place, beat the shit out of each other. Now, this was brilliant because he hits, he wins the no DQ with a style on Jerry. What I thought was brilliant, Jay, absolutely brilliant, is that they went right to the Iron Man. And I think this is why they did it back to back. Now that I think about it, they went right to the Iron Man, and in 11 seconds, AJ pins Jerry for the first fall of the Iron Man
twice,
and then immediately pins him again in 19 seconds.
Yeah, so
he's up 2-0 already because Jerry's already beat up and knocked out. Right?
No breather. Usually in past, no matter what brand it is, usually you put at least a 30 seconds or a commercial break or whatever.
Nothing.
And then you come back and okay, now we're gonna start this last fall. No, it was he's down, cover him. Yeah, like you said, within 20 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it was, he's already 2 up on the Iron Man event. I mean, there was, like you said, there was so much going on. This 10 minutes felt like forever, even though you were just counting it down, and Jeremy Borash did a great job of informing the crowd how far along we were.
It was, I think, absolutely brilliant the way AJ got 2 quick pins right away because Jerry's already worn from the last match. Now 2 pins, racks him up 2-0 right away. Amazing, man. They go at it. Jerry's up. They start beating the shit out of each other, back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. Jerry ends up getting a pin in about 3.5 minutes on this one. Jerry's up. Now it's 2 AJ, 1 Jerry. Back and forth, intense. I mean, this is just all over the place. AJ gets a pin on Jerry at about 6 minutes in. So now we're at 3-1.
Oh, yeah. It looked bad.
It looked bad for Jerry at this point. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, now Loki at this point has come out to the stage and is watching with a ladder, and he's just watching the match.
He is just stone face, hands behind his back like a soldier waiting for inspection. He's like, entertain me. Show me what you got, because I can't wait to see. He is salivating quietly at the top of the stage. Can't wait to see who he's facing next week.
Yeah, intense. But so now we're just getting into the final couple minutes. And now at about 8 minutes in, Jerry pins AJ. Now you're at 2-3. AJ still winning. Now it's like the mad scramble. Right now we're like trying to go. Jerry ends up getting AJ with the Styles Clash. Jerry pins AJ with a Styles Clash in 8 minutes and 58 seconds. You're tied 3-3. Now this is where it gets fun. A minute left. I got to give it to him. The timing was impeccable because Jerry hit that last clash at a minute and 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
And now it's the mad scramble, Jay, the back and forth, the pin, what I like to call the domino effect of pins, where you're just like pin attempt, pin attempt, pin attempt, pin attempt.
Oh, yeah, they're rolling, you know, they got each other rolled up, and they're like roll, dive, twist, turn, pin, and it's all pin attempts, and it's like,
super cool, super cool. They're going at it. Jeremy's counting it down. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. And time limit hits 10 minutes. We're tied 3-3 in one of the best matches at this point in TNA history. It is fantastic what they did. This, I swear to God, in the careers of AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn, this is one of the most underrated feuds in there. I mean, Jerry, like I said, always a Jerry. You get the Rob Van Dam feud. Well, AJ get the Chris Daniels feud, you know, amongst whatever he's doing in WWE now, but you get those feuds. But this Jerry and AJ feud is one of the most underrated things I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's you know, on paper you look at the you know, what's going on for each fall in the match.
Yeah.
10-minute Iron Man match. That sounds ludicrous. Why would you have and then you see this whole thing play out and you're like, oh my God, thank God the Iron Man match was only 10 minutes. Because
it's so intense.
If it was any longer, we would have been a drooling mess by now talking about this.
Big time. Loki comes to the ring, raises both men's hands, and you got a little pop in the crowd. And then that doesn't last long because he kicks the shit out of both of them. And he kicks them both. Which I'm sure you love, J-Bone. You're sadistic, and you love when low-key is sadistic. So he kicks them both.
I just love watching 2002 low-key. He is just so, like I said, his intensity is just,
because you're a big low-key fan. I mean, Brian, I met you. I mean, even initially, you said you're always a big low-key fan, right?
Yeah, no matter what he's done, he's always brought it 1,000%. And I know that people hate it when I bring up other brands, but you know, this last year, the 2 years in watching MLW and watching him, and he still looks like he's in his prime, bringing it.
Doesn't age. I think low-key looks fantastic.
And then we started doing these, and then just to watch, you know, this time in his career, God, this is so much fun to watch him at this point in his career, and to know that he's still that damn good and evolved into something so iconic still. It's just crazy.
Hakeem's comment, Hakeem saying here, imagine low-key versus Michael Elgin. Like, man, how intense would that be, huh? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, never say never. I mean, you know, I don't care what brand, honestly. You know, wrestling is wrestling. You know, everybody supports and loves their own brands, and they're loyal to whatever. But I'm just like, book it. I don't care. You know,
Miller is saying, book it for the TNA show. Hey, low-key already declined, but man, if they could, that'd be awesome. Unfortunately, low-key declined.
There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time. You know,
money talks. Money talks.
I have no doubt that, hey, and if you listen to the fans, you know, he's maybe not be that prominent on social media, but listen to the fans. Sometimes you hear enough and it changes your mind.
I would say, you know, it's a big part of his career. He is a big part of early TNA's history and big time. So it'd be nice. I would love if he could. But that was very intense. Extremely good. Guys, go out of your way to watch this. And also remember, watch these shows on Impact Plus. If you don't have Impact Plus, get your 30-day trial. Watch along with us. Watch along with us and follow these shows. It's a lot of fun. We're having a blast watching them. So you get 30 days to try it out for free, and it's $8 a month after that. I think we're getting our money's worth, Jay.
We are absolutely. You just took the words right out of my mouth. We are absolutely getting our money's worth watching these events and watching the evolution of this brand back almost 20 years ago. It just like, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it, I don't know how many more times. Watching the evolution of this brand and what's going on in the wrestling industry right now, and you don't know who's going to go to where and who's going to show up doing what. Oh my God. It's the same thing's happening now.
Now, speaking of that, who's going to show up where now? I thought that now you think that's the end of the show, but you cut to the back and Bullet's inside of the locker room. You hear Scott Armstrong pleading with his dad, who's on the other side of a door, about don't do this, Dad. Don't. And Goldilocks trying to get it worse. Get the hell away from me. Get the hell away from me, young lady. It's a family business. He's like, Dad, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to fight Jerry. You don't have to fight Jerry. I'm gonna whoop his ass, boy. And he's like, get the hell out of my face, Goldilocks. Like she's trying to get a word. It's chaotic over there. Jarrett's in the ring.
Goldie's still shoving the mic in his face. Just, come on here.
It's like, young lady, get out of my face. Yeah, exactly. One of those where she's pushing her away. But Jarrett's in the ring, and he's calling out Bullet Bob. And this is it. And Bullet comes out in his old Bullet Bob gear, like the old singlet, the old Bullet mask. And you're like, huh. Well, okay. And he's coming out a little spry. People are really confused. And they go at it. They start fighting. A little bit of back and forth. Jarrett gets the upper hand on him. You get to the ramp, and Bullet Bob walks out on the ramp with a chair. Jarrett's looking like, what the hell? What the hell? And then the classic line, say it, Jay, why don't you say it? Well, Mike TNA, since we couldn't get the answers.
Oh, it's still at the end. We're out of time. What the hell is that? We don't know. We gotta
go. So that was it. We don't find out, but I love it. Cliffhangers, episodic television. It's something that today's wrestling product lacks in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Episodic TV.
Yeah. That big what if or what's going on and who is that? It's
let me wonder.
It's not just a debut. It's a big, wait a minute, that wasn't that. Who was it? And I don't know who it was. It felt a little lackluster to me because I was like, they're dragging Bullet Bob Armstrong out there. I know he's up in age. Is this really what we're getting for the surprise? And then as he's dancing around outside and getting his ass handed to him, and then he starts kicking Jarrett's ass, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, wait, that's not Bullet Bob Armstrong. I don't know who that is, but that is not Bullet. And then Bullet Bob Armstrong shows up at the top of the stage like, hey, I'm here with my chair. And I'm like, oh, who the hell is underneath this goofy looking green outfit?
I have a theory. I'm not sure if I should say it because people are going to say, well, you knew because you watched them originally, but I don't know. I don't remember.
And I'm completely clueless. These are all new to me. I'm watching week by week.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell Jay off the air, guys. We'll tell Jay off the air, and we're going to do the code of trust. And if next week, if I'm right, Jay's going to tell the people if I was right or wrong.
Okay. I've got a theory too.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
All right, cool. Nice. Well, that was it, guys. That we went off the air. That's it. So that was episode 10. Very intense. You want to watch some good X Division matches? Episode 10 is your X Division show. That's the one to watch, man. Oof. For sure.
It's you almost got to break it up. It's so much action. It took me a while to watch this episode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, whew,
I would love, yeah. God, I would love to have Ace Austin take on AJ Styles. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be absolutely amazing.
God.
Hakeem's asking if there were any dark matches for this episode, and I'm gonna find out for him right now. Hakeem, give me a second while we're looking into the dark matches for this one. That's a good point because it's always fun to know what the dark matches are. Because last week we had some random dark matches. Well, it's always fun to see.
I took the result. My StreamYard didn't delete my description. I'm looking at our description. I just kind of copied and pasted after I watched it. I didn't see it. They didn't give any here. There might be another site that says something. I think the reason is because this is the second half of the tapings. This is 9 and 10.
Yes, that's a good point, J-Bone. Yeah, keep that in mind. Yep. Great point, J-Bone. That's usually how it goes. So if there's the first half, will always have the darks. So definitely the next one should have dark matches, no doubt. Cool. All right. So yeah, nothing. I'm not saying I'm looking at cage match also, guys. Not seeing anything in there. So very cool, man. That was it. That was a great show. I loved it. I highly recommend watching that one. If you like X Division, watch it. So Awesome. Jay, let's perfect timing. We did our we hit it right in time again. We're doing great on this, Jay. We are keeping a great pace going on here with the throwback show. I'm proud of ourselves.
We got the flow.
We got the nice flow of the throwbacks. All right, Jay, but where can people find you? Let's let these people go. It's a week. It's a Monday night, for God's sake.
Yeah, you can find me over on that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where I was shortly right before we went live here. So yeah, we're double banging it tonight. We're double smashing it. Go follow me over there. I talk about all sorts of other things in the world of wrestling. A little bit of Impact, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So yeah, just trying to grow the brand. Go check it out. You can find Smash This Podcast also on Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter box. Me personally, I'm on the Twitter box at Jaybone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
Beautiful. Guys, you can find me at Vanilla Joke on Instagram and Twitter. Connect with me there, or at Hemi Music, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Or if you can't get enough of me on these two podcasts, I also do another podcast called the Backstage Boys Podcast. It's where I talk independent wrestling, my producing work that I do in independent stuff. I do it with Basil and referee Nate from AAW. We talk about what goes on behind the scenes. Some Impact guys are on there too. Like, we use a lot of Impact people. If you guys can't get enough, we don't do it live. It's live to tape. We are on YouTube also. Look up the Backstage Boys Podcast, or iTunes and all the other different feeds as well. So look me up there if you'd like to hear more about the production side of things. Also, guys, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, YouTube, on the OG channel right here on the Total Nonstop Impact channel, or the Impact Lounge, where we do the weekly Impact Wrestling review. That's the mothership show of the Impact Lounge. That's the mothership show of us. That's the balls. That's the one with the balls on it. But you can also find the show, guys, all social medias at We Talk Impact. Type in We Talk Impact, all one word, or Total Nonstop Impact Podcast. We come right up. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Connect with us. We'd love to hear from you. Our Instagram's been doing well. If you have Instagram, get on there with us. Connect with us. Facebook, same thing. We don't push the Facebook enough. Our Twitter is kind of our big guy. We push the Twitter a lot. We're able to connect with more people on the Twitter. So we want to beef up the Facebook and the on the Instagram a little more too. So guys, look us up. We Talk Impact. Get a hold of us there. We will be back on Thursday night with the weekly review. Jay, they're in Las Vegas. Are you feeling lucky? Are you feeling lucky in Vegas?
Some gambling coming up.
It's a sold-out tapings in Vegas, guys. 4 weeks, I believe, of Vegas 3 or 4 weeks Vegas tapings. They were sellouts, hot crowd. This is supposed to be a fun set of shows coming up. I cannot wait to listen to to watch the Vegas shows and break those down. So, all right, Jay.
And I've seen Sam Town on another level too. When
Ring of Honor would run there.
No, I haven't seen those. It was
oh, you were not Warriors Wrestling. No, what the hell is that called?
Ring Warriors.
Ring Warriors. Yep.
That was my introduction to Sam's Town, and that felt very old, like late 2000s TNA down in Florida, where everybody's kind of sitting on their hands. They had a ticket because they got it free because they stayed at the hotel. Not a real engaged audience. These audiences, though, for these tapings have been getting better and better.
Big time.
And better. And it's growing. Every time they go back, it's a little more.
A little more. Absolutely. They did a great job.
I can't wait to see what this one is like.
Can you just display Millard Harris's his comment here before we go off the air? You got J-Bone knocking out 2 in one night. I remember when I did 2 in a night back in the day. Oh, zing. Millard Harris, you naughty boy, you. Look at this guy. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining.
Pimpin' Harris.
Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate that. Remember, see us Thursday. Subscribe to all the stuff. Get a hold of us. Connect with us on everything we got. We want to hear from you. Give us all the feedback. Big shout out to Madman Fulton for giving us a follow and putting us over today on last week's episode. We appreciate that, Madman Fulton. Thank you very much, guys. We will talk to you Thursday. Share this review around. Let them know what we're doing over here. The throwback show's coming up. We are doing this here we are really promoting NWA-TNA. We want to really make this show special coming up, and I cannot wait, J-Bone, till we get a few more names announced, and we get to do our fantasy booking. We're gonna do fantasy booking for the one night only, no place like home. All right, J-Bone, anything else?
No, that's it, man. Let's roll out of here.
Sounds good, everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on this Monday night. We will talk to you on Thursday. Good night.
See you, folks.